the legal argument. The question is, how does the legal argument get made? Or is this just an argument that has to be made with a public vote? Or is this just something that the council can do on their own?
The council can absolutely do this. Maine and Vermont already allow felons to vote behind bars. They don't disenfranchise them, and Vermont has actually had this policy for quite a while. And it hasn't really been an issue for them. And upon release, felons in D.C. and 14 states automatically regain their voting rights. And so each jurisdiction has kind of decided these things on their own and can implement their own rules for how this works. So I think they absolutely do. And I only talk about the arbitrariness of the law enforcement because there's so many felonies being committed. I mean, there are around 2.3 million Americans incarcerated in the U.S. right now, but the fact is it could be me, it could be your neighbor, it could be your own kid. I mean, the landscape of our criminal justice system depends on who gets caught committing a crime because everyone commits crimes knowingly or not. I mean, because our laws are written so burdensome, so extremely broad, and every year lawmakers are creating new criminal laws across the country. I mean, there's scholar and author Harvey Silvergate. He estimates that Americans commit 3 felonies a day on average. So if we're all technically felons, the 2.3 million Americans who got caught are sort of the unlucky ones.
So, and convicted, by the way, and gone before a court of law. And I guess the other question would be, does it matter what the crime was? In other words, if somebody's in there for a felony but has the chance of getting out versus somebody who might be in there for a life or, say, life without parole, I mean, does it matter whether or not you even have the chance to rehabilitate yourself in the eyes of our society, or should anyone who is in prison, regardless of the crime they committed and were convicted of, still be allowed to vote?
Well, I think it is a difficult question to ask, but overall, I don't think it should be based. Your ability to vote should not be based on your actions or behavior. It's a dangerous path to go down, and as you said, there's most incarcerated individuals today are going to be coming back into society someday, and they're going to have to come out and try and live a normal life. And when they are out, the laws and elected politicians will absolutely affect their lives. So to that degree, they should be able to take part in that process. But I think for those who are certainly coming out, we need to help prepare people to reenter society while they're incarcerated. And I think part of the rehabilitation process goes beyond what we might think of as traditional job and skill training, and actually has to do with restoring some sense of fellowship to incarcerated individuals to give them hope and sense of belonging to their community. And because behind bars, there's no doubt it can feel extremely disconnected and shunned away from society. And restoring voting rights, I think, is one simple way that those who are incarcerated can still be involved and connected with society on the outside. And it's not a policy that's risky to anyone. It's not inherently harmful. And overall, I think it does more good than bad to restoring that sense of fellowship to prisoners.
The sense of fellowship to prisoners, you think, is part of the goal here?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it's something that's kind of overlooked, but societal impacts of being a prisoner, and especially upon returning to society when you feel so disconnected, you maybe have lost a bunch of relationships with family and friends. This is one simple way that you can still kind of be involved and still have your voice heard.
Yeah, assuming you still might have the chance to get out. What is the trajectory for this now? What happens in the city?